Hey there guys, what's going on? Gale right here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Memoria Freeze video. And today we are here to look at the Heroic Trials of Villains category. This is a sequel to the earlier Heroic Trials we got about 2 weeks ago, where we had the hero side of things. We had the Belle, the Hestia, and the Lilyruka cards, right? In this case, we have the Eyes, Asfi, and Hermes cards. Now, of course, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, of course, if you guys go on to enjoy this content. And of course, a little bit of a teaser, you might want to stay subscribed because tomorrow we have a tier list coming out, or maybe Saturday, depends on how fast I can edit the video, but there is a tier list coming out, so you guys might be most interested in that. Now, of course, comment down below as well, which unit did you guys pick up? Do you guys have some of these units at +5 or near +5, and hence why you decided to pick up one of these units? Let me know in the comments. Now, like I said, we're going to be looking at 3 units today. We're going to be looking at the Eyes, the Asfi, and the Hermes. I think we should start with the Hermes because I feel like that'll be the easiest one to talk about, to be quite honest. And in all honesty, assists are probably the ones you should go for because they're so rare. And you know, if you're trying to get everything +5, or you know, you're trying to get those standard banner units to +5 as fast as possible, you might want to just pick up a lot of these assists, in all honesty. Now, of course, one thing to note when it comes to Heroic Trials, the big thing to note actually, is that these units aren't like new copies. Like, if you don't have the unit, the bond is basically just there until you can actually pick up the unit. So that's something to bear in mind as well. So if you don't have the unit, it's kind of like, okay, maybe I don't need to pick the unit up. But for in this case, I have this Hermes actually, funnily enough. And if you go to +5, he is magic focused. Let's look at what he does. It's very simple what he does. He does foes dark resist -20% and agility -10%. It's not the worst thing on the planet, but I will say this, it's a little bit dated. It's a little bit dated, both in terms of agility down. The dark res is decent, but the agility down is probably, you know, it's on the weaker side, I would say. Like, if I look at some of these other units, right? For example, I'd say let's look at this Aphrodite. -15% agility down, and she also lowers the opponent's god rate and counter rate, and it does give damage received +20%, which is not bad at all, right? So in that regards, it's a little bit dated, I would say, that ability, but it's not a bad option for those running a dark team and maybe they don't have a agility down unit, right? You may not have an agility -% assist in your team at all, right? So this sort of a unit would come in handy, of course, and I mean, as long as he's close to +5, he's giving you a lot of that here, basically, right? So in that regards, pretty decent, and especially if you are running also a dark team, pretty decent, pretty darn decent. This is his stats without going to MLB. I should just put it like this. Let's look at him at level 60. There you go. -15% dark res and agility -8%. So that's pretty decent, I would say. It's not the greatest, very much dated, I would say. Very much so dated, but it's not the worst option. Definitely not the worst option at all. Now let's look at the adventure side of things. The 2 dark units, the 2 dark regular units. Remember, these units that we're getting, the Heroic Trials we're getting, these units are not time limited, right? So you can get them from ticket banners and stuff like that. So in all honesty, you shouldn't necessarily worry about never pulling these units. I mean, you guys can see that I'm missing some of these units. Like, I don't have the Asfi, for example, but inevitably, you know, by some miracle, you will inevitably pull these units because of how diluted the pool is. It's just because of that you're not pulling some of these units, but inevitably it will happen. Depends on your luck. Depends on your luck. It varies from person to person, I say. All right, let's look at this Eyes first and foremost. And again, it's a similar situation to the Hermes. The problem with these units are they're dated. So realistically speaking, there's realistically no point in picking up these units outside of collection, in all honesty. On top of that, there is a chance that they can be usable, because we actually did look at this Eyes and Asfi a while back, because in the most recent Familiar Rush, it was Dragon Killer. Dragon Killer was the bonus, and there was a dark weakness as well. So we decided to look at these units, this Eyes and Asfi, and they had Dragon Killer. So in that regards, they can be usable in some situations, but not all situations, and that can be a little bit of an issue. So let's have a look-see at this Eyes right now. And the biggest issue I have with this Eyes is her modifiers are super weak. You look at the Dark Marsh attack, it's foes mid dark magic attack. Mid just doesn't cut it in this day and age. And same with the additional actions, low dark magic attack. Most units have mid attacks when it comes to additional attacks. So in that regards, it's a little bit weak. Along with that, she does have some benefits, and it's the same with the Asfi as well, that they focus on ensuring the opponent's agility is as low as possible. But again, a lot of modern day units are doing the same thing. This skill of removing agility buffs is literally on the light Elise that we just got a few weeks back for the Australia record celebration, right? The publication campaign, the new light Elise. So in that regards, it's just not great. And it's the same thing with Magical Abyss. It's a fast high dark magic attack. It should be fast super dark magic attack. It's dated. It really doesn't fit well in modern day meta, and as a result, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this eyes outside of collection purposes. And it's the same, like I said, with Asfi as well. I mean, you look at their kits, you look at their stats as well. They're on the lower side. They're a little bit older, right? Like I said, these units are about year and a half old, right? And you look at it. I mean, the agility minus 30%, nice. But I feel like modern day units are able to do the same thing but better as well. I will still say though, this Asfi isn't a bad option, in all honesty. You know, you could say that a lot of other units are better and a lot of other units are worse. But the problem I have with this Asfi, and it's a very niche issue, if you look at the amount of turns the debuff is live, right, on the enemy, it's 3 turns. Agility and dexterity down minus 30% for 3 turns, along with the counter rate and dark attack damage boost that you get from the allies boost, right? Let's look at assists, right? And I'm saying this for a very specific reason. Let's look at backstage eyes, if I'm not mistaken, right? This is obviously against enemies, right? They lower foes status buff minus 3 turns. So that's your critical rate and dark attack damage gone, right? Then you look at the new bell as well, right? You look at the new bell. Ally status debuff minus 3 turns. So if they either have bell or eyes in the back, right, coming in from the back, and they lose that unit in the first turn, or they lose the frontline unit in the first turn, and one of these 2 units come in the back, those buffs and debuffs that Asfi gives you is just gone. It's literally just gone. That being said, obviously most players will run either the bell or eyes. Most people do run backstage eyes more often than not. So in that regards, you don't have to necessarily worry too much, but it's still an ever-present issue. And I will still maintain, again, the main issue with this Asfi is the same issue as the eyes. These modifiers are bad. Why is it mid? Why is it not high or super for a slam dark matter? Why is it fast low? Again, I know that these units are about a year and a half old, but I think this is one of the problems I have with Danmachi, is that whenever we do get heroic trials for these units, I always believe they need to buff these units, because why bring these heroic trials out? They're just free fodder for people at this point, right? In that regards, I feel like they need to buff these units whenever they get a heroic trial. In my personal opinion, that would be something that would be amazing. And I know more often than not, buffs can be pretty mediocre in this game. I mean, we look at the Chigusa and stuff that we just got for the a Midsummer Night Sabbath event, right? The Chigusa buffs and stuff like that. They weren't phenomenal. By any means of the imagination, they weren't phenomenal. But they were buffs nonetheless. Why not give some of these buffs to these units, in all honesty? Again, very decent units. I will still say this. Asfi, for example, again, like I said, those 3 turns is still usable. But it can go wrong really quickly depending on what the opponent is running. So bear that in mind. And of course, it's also dependent on if there are modern day replacements for these units, which, like I said, for eyes, there are some modern day replacements. So there's 2 sides of the coin when it comes to these units. Now, what should you do? What should you pick up and how should you go about it? In my personal opinion, I would personally go for the Hermes, to be quite honest. It's a very simple choice in that regards, because it's an assist. You'll probably may have only gotten 1 copy of him in the ticket banners and stuff. So in that regards, of course, being an assist, being rare, he's a great pickup, right? But on top of that as well, I would like to add on, go for a unit that you do have and one that's closer to +5. I always say this: if a unit is really close to +5 and you need to pick up a bond for them and it's right there, pick it up, because that makes a difference. In all honesty, it does. It really does, truly does. So in that regards, go for there. If they're all even, I would probably go with Hermes, just because he's an assist. It's harder to pull them. And in terms of if you don't have the unit, you could still pick it up, but That's up to you. You know, if you want to pick it up, maybe sell it for dub or something like that. That's also another option as well, is that you could just pick up the bond and just sell it for dub, so that you can probably save up to buy a Memoria that you don't have, for example, or you want to pick up something else entirely. It's up to you in that regards. All right, let's look at the event itself and let's see what we have to do here in order to beat the EX stage. Okay, I actually don't have to do much here, in all honesty. I realistically don't. I'm just gonna change this armor piece 1 second. Of course, I was doing all those shenanigans with the wheel video as well, which you guys can go check out, by the way. I'm really disappointed that video didn't do well, to be honest. I'm very, very sad on you guys, I'm not gonna lie. But I was doing a bit of a challenge video earlier on, and as a result, I've you know, I was just moving stuff in and around. So let me just do this. We're gonna use a skill flow, and this should be very, very easy pickings, to be quite honest. I don't think we need to struggle at all. Actually, I think I may or may not have screwed up here, because I'm running, I might be putting my team using, wait, actually, no, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. I wasn't sure if my team was using single target attacks or not. That was my main concern. Okay, we'll be fine though. Actually, let me just check. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We're using single target attacks. Beautiful. Yeah, we'll be good. I mean, this is literally the best team I could have taken. And I mean, the fact that it's light weak is perfect. Let me actually check what the weaknesses are on both. Obviously, we've done a lot of shenanigans here already, so bear that in mind. But yeah, you can see there's not much resistances here, actually. It's all straight up what we've inflicted upon the enemy as well, which is great. Obviously, we also can see that they do poison you, so bear that in mind. That is something you might want to be concerned about a little bit, but in all honesty, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be whatsoever. And I'm curious to see, actually, I think we might be able to beat the stage with ease, in all honesty, at turn 6 or 7 whenever we launch our special arts, which should be turn 7, considering this is the team I usually run in stuff like Familiar Rush and stuff. And it should be set up for that primarily. It should be set up for that. I mean, yeah, we're gonna get triple supers ready, obviously, so we're gonna be fine in that regards. So let's see here. All right, 1 second. I'm surprised Finn lost his Finn lost his special MP, sorry. I'm surprised about that. All right, no problem though. We'll be fine though. We'll be fine. No reason to worry. All right, come on. Deal a lot of damage here, please. Nice. Nice. And on top of that, Lazar gives us the 100% light attack damage bonus as well, which is perfect. And we did a lot of damage there. Beautiful. Turn 7. I mean, yeah, if you have the light team, it's very, very easy pickings, to be honest. It's not a surprise there. And obviously, Finn will be able to finish it off. Get some counters. No counters. Not today. There we go. Never mind. Beautiful. We did it. We did it. There we go. There you have it, though. That's pretty easy. Again, if you have a light team, which you should have as an anniversary team, this is not difficult whatsoever. That's the S rank done. And like I said, I would probably choose personally Hermes, but it's up to you guys. Whatever is closest to +5, pick that, in all honesty, and go from there. Like I said, I've already mentioned what you should be doing, so I'm not gonna keep yammering on about what you should be picking and what you shouldn't be picking. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, though. Of course, like I said, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel to be notified as to when the tier lists drop, and of course, just any other video as well. It would be greatly appreciated. And of course, comment down below which unit did you guys end up picking. I'm curious to see what you chose at the end of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye, everybody.